In this video, I want to give you a brief introduction to what I call Word Study by the Book. And I have opened here a particular Bible. It's called the Word Study New Testament. While this is one example, there are other examples similar to this one. You'll notice what I mean when I point out to you that this particular version of the Bible is the King James Version, but it has numbers either over the text itself or under the text. And so what I want to do is I want to just point how you can use this numbering system in order to get to the Greek words, because these numbers point you toward the Greek text. If you look in Matthew chapter 11 verse 28, it says, "Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." Verse 29, "Take my yoke upon you, and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls. For my yoke is easy, and my burden is light." The word that I would like to choose for our study today is this word, yoke. And that word appears twice in this passage that I just read. It appears in verse 29, "Take my yoke," and you'll notice underneath the word is the number 2218. This word appears again in verse 30, where Jesus says, "For my yoke is easy." And so once again we have the number here 228. So both the word in verse 29 and the same word in verse 30 are the same Greek word. So knowing that number 2218, you can then turn to a study, a concordance, and in this case it happens to be the Word Study Concordance. And oftentimes concordances are linked to the word. The numbering system is the same as what I'm trying to say. So in this case, the number, as you remember, is 2218, and you can see that that word appears. That word appears 6 times in the New Testament, and here are the different examples given. It appears in Matthew, and in Acts, and Galatians, 1 Timothy, and also Revelation. And so you can read these these scriptures and look at the context and come to a better understanding of what those passages mean. Then these numbers across the top of this particular article are very important. It will tell you where you can find other resources on this same word. The word here is zugos. Zugos. That's the word that is translated yoke in different places throughout the New Testament. You can see that in Revelation chapter 6:5, it is translated had a pair of balances. So pair of balances is the way it is translated. This word is translated in Revelation chapter 6 verse 5. The number here, 340, 421 is a reference to another outside resource that is beneficial for us. So it tells us on which page that is found on. In fact, you can see here in the introductory material of this particular resource, that is the Word Study Concordance, you have an explanation of this particular numbering system. So the number on the left indicates the reference to Strong's concordance. So many of the different concordances and Greek concordances, as well as other resources, use a numbering system. Many of them use Strong's, and so that gives us an indication of where to go and how to follow this, even though we don't. Some of us may not understand Greek. The next number, as I've already pointed out to you, indicates the number of times that the Greek word appears in the New Testament. The next number gives the page number to Art and Gingrich's Greek lexicon, and the next one is the page number in Moulton and Giedon's concordance to the New Testament. The last one, the number here, in this case it's 3, followed by a colon. 3 is an indication to the volume of the Theological Dictionary of the New Testament, and then the page number on which the reference appears. So then the next number indicates the most likely root word. So in the example that we have in front of us, 2218 is the Greek word zugos, and then 6 indicates the number of times that it appears, this Greek word appears in the New Testament. Then Art and Gingrich, Moulton and Giedon, and then what we fondly call Kittle's, or Theological Dictionary of the New Testament. So this would be the volume number. 2 is the volume number, and 896 is the page number. So as we scroll down, we can find this same Greek word in the Strong's Exhaustive Concordance of the New Testament. So here we're looking at the English word. So the English word appears quite frequently, and here in Matthew you can see that word appears twice in this passage that I just read, Matthew 11 verse 29 and verse 30, and here again the number is 2218. So you can go to the concordance of the New Testament by looking up the word yoke. It will give you all of the occurrences throughout the entire Bible, and you can then go to the other resources by looking up this particular number, 2218. So at this point, what I've done is I've looked up this reference because it tells me the page number in Art and Gingrich, their Greek English lexicon of the New Testament, and so I can come here and I can read the article on zugos, and it will give some definition and some occurrences of this word within Greek literature overall, but it will also begin to address this word as it appears in Jesus's Jesus' teaching. So it gives a definition of sorts. It tells us that this word has a figurative sense of any burden, and then it goes on and discusses that later. Then you can turn next to what we call Kittle's, or the Theological Dictionary of the New Testament, and it will give an explanation of this word. This is a very Theological Dictionary of the New Testament is generally very, very thorough, and so it's going to give us this word. And remember, you find that by looking at this page number here, 2:896. So you find the Kittle's article is in volume 2, and once again it is 896. So it begins on that particular page, and it gives us a description of the word zugos in the Septuagint. And you can read that article there, find something out about that article, about the occurrences of the word, rather, in the Septuagint. And then you can also come down, and you can see that there are several pages here dealing with. This is page 897, and so it deals with that in the Septuagint. And then here on the next page you have zugos in the New Testament. And so if you read this article, you're going to find some very important information about the word, and sometimes it will give an understanding of the theological meaning of that word within this particular context. And so I think here's actually at this point letter C on page 899. Then you find where it begins a discussion of this particular word, and it gives quite a lengthy discussion. Gives quite a bit of material on that word. So that really gives us, I think, a clear understanding of how to do what I call word study by the book. So we began to look at the word, get to the theological meaning of the word, and have a better understanding of what that means. So I hope this has been helpful to you. You have a good day.